should I be taking, doctor? This is a very common question that I get asked. I am Dr. Nelum Dharmapriya and I'm a GP at Whole Food Revolution. So the word supplement is important because it means it's supplemental to something. So it's really important before we start supplementing that we put the basics into place, that we are doing the things that we're supposed to be doing, that we're eating whole food, we've got rid of our processed foods, we're prioritizing protein, we're eating good fats, we're prioritizing our sleep and moving right, preserving and building muscle, getting out into the sunshine, taking care of our gut. All of these things that we talk about. And then if you're doing all of those, then adding supplements is worth considering, definitely. So right on top, where I would say number one is omega-3. So omega-3 is what we call an essential fat. Essential in nutrition is something that the body cannot make. We have to get it from our food. So omega-3 is our main anti-inflammatory fat. And it is really important for our brain because most of our brain cells are made the cell membranes are made out of these omega-3s. It's also really important for heart health and for our joints. And omega-3, there are three types of omega-3: ALA, EPA, and DHA. And out of those, really for human function, it's the important ones are the EPA and the DHA, and these are only available in animal sources. So any good quality animal food, but preferentially in oily fish. So if you are not eating at least 2 portions of oily fish in a week, then it's highly recommended that you supplement with a good quality omega-3. Now, if you're a vegan, you must supplement with an omega-3. So something like an algae-based omega-3 is what a vegan needs to have. There are plant sources of omega-3s, but this is typically ALA, which needs to be converted into the other types of omega-3 within our body. And the conversion rate isn't very good, so you need to have a large quantity of those to actually get sufficient for our daily needs. Number 2 is vitamin D. So important. Vitamin D is what we get from the sun and through our skin. That's how we naturally make vitamin D. And despite living in beautiful sunny Queensland, the number of people that are deficient in vitamin D is astounding. But that's because, we spend a lot of time indoors, and when we do go out, we're actually clothed and we're covered in sunscreen. So I would say that most people will, ideally get your levels checked. It's really, really important. Make sure that it is optimal, not just the levels that are shown in our blood testing range. The optimal range, I prefer it to be closer to 100, and so I think it's really important to supplement with vitamin D if your levels are on the lower side, because vitamin D is not only important for bone, so important for bone, but also for calcium metabolism, for immune function, for it regulates inflammation, it helps with iron metabolism and metabolic health. There's so many benefits of vitamin D, because actually, even though we call it a vitamin, it actually acts like a hormone. It's produced in one area and it's sent around the body to various other organs as a messenger to do all these do all of this. So ideally 1 or 2 capsules of vitamin D3. Luckily, that's what we have available in Australia. So 1,000 to 2,000 international units is what I would recommend. And then you can monitor your levels over time. Then number 3 is creatine. Now, creatine is something that has been used for many years in the bodybuilding industry, particularly in men, but it has been now shown to be very beneficial to women in much smaller doses. So once a day, 3 to 5 grams once a day, around about the same time. and it's really important for what we call the fast energetics, the fast energy production in our bodies. So for kind of power, muscle building. I mean, not building, but that power and strength for women, preserving lean muscle, cognitive function, because the brain is very hard, is an organ that demands a lot of energy. There is some research to say that it's helpful for gut and for mood as well. So this is something that is starting to be studied a lot, and particularly for those women who are worried about their cognitive function, who want to preserve lean mass. I think it's really good. So 3 to 5 milligrams of creatine monohydrate. So make sure that you get a good brand, is what you need to do for that. Magnesium is also something to consider. Magnesium glycinate in particular, it has many benefits in terms of for for sleep. It's really good for sleep, to calm. It has that calm effect, for cramps. So a lot of those kind of benefits. So a lot of women, particularly in that post-menopause, use it for these kind of things. The soil now doesn't have a lot of magnesium, so sometimes even though we're eating the right things, we might not be getting as much magnesium. So it's worth considering. Then the other 2 that are not something that I recommend for every person, but it is something to consider if you are lacking, and that is iron. Iron is very, very important. So if you are vegetarian or vegan, or if you are somebody who is having, have a heavy menstrual period and having a lot of blood loss, something like that, then where your iron levels are low. And surprisingly, again, we see so much iron deficiency. I mean, I see it in all my population, and even in my prepubertal girls who are not menstruating. So it's a dietary deficiency. So for us humans do really well with animal sources of iron, because we absorb it better, and it's much more what we call bioavailable. More of what we absorb can be used from the animal sources of iron. So that's red meat, that's things like crustaceans. So it's really, that's the best source. You can use plant sources of iron, it's just that we don't absorb it as well, and it's not as bioavailable. But iron is so important, not just to carry oxygen around, that's its main goal, but also for brain health. It helps in the formation of neurotransmitters, so for mood, for energy. So it can present with fatigue, breathlessness, palpitations, itchy skin, hair loss, restless legs. All of these could be a lack of iron. And then finally, I think B12. I think this is really important again. Not recommended for everybody, but if your levels are low, I think it's really important to get your levels checked. Medicare will do one check a year on B12, and B12, the B vitamins are really important. B12 in particular for brain function, for nerves, for energy, for all of that. It's very, very important. And for cognitive function, so B12, again, B12 is only available in animal food. So if you're a vegan, you must supplement with B12, and vegetarians also may need to have their levels checked regularly. So I think these are the things that I talk to my patients about, and anybody who asks me. I myself take omega-3, creatine, and magnesium. My vitamin D, despite my pigmented skin, is actually really good because I love going out in the sunshine. But I do monitor it, and if I feel that if my levels go down, because it's such an important supplement, I will start taking it. But so I hope that this has been useful to you. If you like what you've heard, then please like, subscribe, and share. Bye.